They come out of the corner with the puck from the blue line. Spiza stops and starts, gets the shot, scores! And the Vegas Golden Knights will play for the Stanley Cup.
By Jaden Schwartz. Schwartz cuts in. Schwartz scores! A hat trick for Schwartz.
Shaken up in the corner, and he went to stop.
Open-ended shot. Monahan won't miss that. It's in the corner. Caulfield picks him up in front. Scores! Series winner! As a look around, he'll hand it off. Michael in front. Stevenson scores! That will be the first game to advance to the second round of Stanley Cup playoffs.
That's right, boys. We are finally back after EA gets their game together and put out some updates. I fixed the rosters and the salary caps, and we are back for the first episode of the Winnipeg Jets series. As you saw, the Winnipeg storied history there in that little preview. The Jets have lost in the playoffs 5 out of the last 6 years. So it's been a real rough time for Jets fans. So that's why, according to the channel poll that we did a few weeks ago, I will be taking on the Winnipeg Jets. And I am quite excited to do so because this team has quite a lot of promise. They just haven't quite found it in that playoff setting, which is what I am going to be here for. So we are in that Central Division, a pretty tough Central Division as well, with Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota all in there. Even Nashville probably simulates pretty well. So it's going to be a tough task, but I think that we can do it. And if you guys don't know how I like to do my franchise modes, I always like to get your player feedback. Your feedback into the videos, because I think it makes the series more enjoyable for you and it makes it more enjoyable for me as well. So as I go through the rules here, we will just talk about that real quick. So like, for example, in the last series that we did, the Ottawa Senators series, I always asked you guys at the end of videos, what do you think that we should do? What do you think should happen? Trade difficulty is going to be on hard. Who do you think we should pick up from trades? I wish you guys the trade blocks and things like that. We built quite a nice little community of people who like to chip in on the videos and give their thoughts and opinions, and I always like to follow what you guys suggest. So it's my favorite part about making franchise mode videos, and I think it really helps out with the community aspect of it. Now, that being said, with the Winnipeg Jets here, we are going to have a bit of a tough task because, as I said in the opener there, you know, the Winnipeg Jets, they've been exited in the playoffs, you know, the first round, the second round, and the third round. They've never made a Stanley Cup Finals, though, I don't believe. So it's going to be, you know, a pretty tough task, and with some extensions that came just recently, we are going to have to try to make this team work for quite a big future, because I would assume, I'm not sure if it came out in media or anything like that, but I would assume that Mark Scheifele has a no move clause. Same thing maybe with Connor Hellebuyck, or it's like a 12 trade team list or something like that. But here we are, we're at the main menu of NHL 24. Did I say 23 in the opener? That would be bad, but NHL 24 here, guys. A first look at the menus and things like that. It's a new game, so we have a new, you know, time to try to get this team a Stanley Cup. So let's take a look at our rosters here first. I should probably do it from the trade. Yeah, I'll do it from the trade screen, but look at this. Cole Perfetti's up. We might want to sign him to an extension. But before we get looking at any of this stuff, yeah, we only have $7.97 million next year, so cap is going to be tight. I do have to talk about that a little bit later in the episode, but let's take a look at what we have going for us right now. Let's take a look at the forwards first and just see what this team is working with. So we obviously have our franchise piece here, Kyle Connor. He's only 26, and what's his contract like? He is signed on for the next 3 years at 7.17 or 45 mil. Last year or 2 years ago, he got that 93-point season. Last year, 80 points in 82 games. We're gonna look for another like 40-goal season out of him if that's possible, but he's an amazing player, obviously, has a lot of speed and can really shoot shoot that puck, so we're going to be relying on him quite a bit. Then there's Mark Scheifele, who just signed his extension. Let's see it over here. $8.5 million for the next 7 years. In franchise mode, that's not going to be a good extension whatsoever. In the real world, I'm sure we can debate it, but we're probably going to have to try to find a way to win with Scheifele on the team, despite the fact that he's going to be dropping off a little bit. Nikolai Ehlers, I think, a pretty underrated piece for the Winnipeg Jets here. Is he a sniper in this game? He's a playmaker in this game. Interesting, with 90 passing. Good. On a pretty good deal as well. $6 million for the next 2 years. So we don't have any massive contracts other than the Scheifele one, and one in the back end that I will get to in a little bit. That trade over the offseason where they traded Pierre-Luc Dubois for Gabriel Velarde, this man was one of the pieces that came back. 3.44 for the next 2 years, a very digestible contract. And the other guy that came back in that deal is Alex Iafallo. Let me know how to say that down there. $4 million for the next 2 years. So I think there's a few options with this team. We have Nino Niederreiter, then we have Cole Perfetti, who should probably be getting second line ice time. But again, let me know, guys. Look at how he fits on the second line, fits pretty decently. But again, let me know what you guys think that we should do with the team. Adam Lowry, a good third line center, Mason Appleton, and then we have just kind of some fourth and third line guys down here. Do we have any prospects? Any good prospects in the system? We have Brad Lambert. Okay, forgot about Brad Lambert. Center, two-way forward. That's good. Other than that, Chaz Lucius here, another center. He's a sniper, though. What's his face-offs like, though? Can he take the face-offs? Kind of. 73, not bad. So we do have some prospects in the forward department, at least. Colby Barlow, medium top 6. He was drafted 18th overall this year. Love to see it. Anyone else? There's that. Yeah, that's kind of it. So we do have a few forward prospects. Now let's check out the defense. And we will look at this. So defense, this is our boy right here, Josh Morrissey. This man can really get it done for you. He's got a great deal as well. 5 years at 6.25. That's a massive steal. Neil Pionk is here as well. 85 overall right defenseman, can play on that top pairing. But then it kind of drops off. We have some 82s and then a 79 in Ville Heinola. Should Ville Heinola be getting ice time in the NHL this year? You guys let me know, right? That's what, I don't think we're going to do much simulating in this, but then we go over into the goalies here, and this boy got paid. Connor Hellebuyck, an $8.5 million extension for the next 7 years, the exact same contract as Mark Scheifele. They're the same age. Connor Hellebuyck, to get paid that much, especially in NHL at 24, where goaltending stats, I'm not sure how much they matter this year. Usually they don't matter at all. That's why I usually run with like 82, 83 overall goaltenders. We're going to have to become quite a good defensive team. Doesn't look like we have many prospects in the system. Forgot to check that out with the defense as well. Let me check out prospect defensemen. Looks like we actually have quite a bit. Artemi Kniazev here. Other than that, though, I'm not seeing anything crazy. High top 6, medium top 6. Yeah, so most of our prospects come in the forward department, and this team, as you guys can see, is a very win right now team. We do have all of our picks, though, which is nice to see. We have Montreal second. We have our first, Montreal second, a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So good. And for the next few years as well, good. So we haven't traded away many picks. So we have picks to work with. We have people to draft maybe, or to ship out if we're a good team. So that's what the team overview looks like there. Going into the edit line screen now, this is where we can have some fun. No, we will not be doing anything. So this is what the game wants us to do, right? Cole Perfetti, though, I'm thinking about giving him second line ice time, give Gabe Velarde third line ice time, something along these lines. Actually, a follow up there on the second line. Find a way maybe to get this third line here a plus of some kind. Baron Appleton can go down to maybe something like this. But again, Nikolai Ehlers can jump up there. We get a +3, and then we get a +2 down here. Again, guys, you guys can let me know. Throw Kyle Connor on a shooting wing, whatever it takes. But look at this. None of our top guys like this coach. So maybe this coach is not great for us here. They do love that second line. Do you think they could get a +5 on the second line? I just want to test this out. Yes, they can. They can get +5 on the second line, all to playing together, which is something to consider if we think that chemistry really matters. Looking at defense now, oh my goodness, Josh Morrissey and Neil Pionk get a -2. So this coach, I'm not sure about this coach. Maybe Dylan DeMello goes up there. Logan Stanley. Yeah, this is not a great coach, I don't think. And then goaltending, it's Connor Hellebuyck. Let me know about the power play as well if you guys know what the team +5 on the power play. Wow, that's great. And then make sure Cole Perfetti's in here. He is okay. And again, this is just me doing like a little cursory overview or anything like that. I don't think we're really going to go too far in this one. But those are what the lines look like, guys. So you let me know about the lines. You also let me know about what you think we should do with this team. Personally, I think that we should be a playoff team, try to push for the playoffs and make a run. I know there's going to be a few options here. I would say option number one would be try to make the playoffs, keep the core guys together, keep Nikolai Ehlers, Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor together, as well as Josh Morrissey and Connor Hellebuyck. Keep all those guys together. I think also for the series, we're going to have to make a rule where I think Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuyck are going to have to stay for at least until near the end of their contracts. So I think that we should make that a rule. But with the new way that progression works in this game, Mark Scheifele might not be able to get, a +3 on that second line in the next few years because you can lose X factors. So that's going to be an interesting development there. And you just lose them based on age. Even if you're producing like 60-point seasons or 80-point seasons, you might still lose X factors. I'm not sure how it works. So that's going to be something to look out for sure. Same thing that's going to happen with Connor Hellebuyck as well. Then as he ages, his X factors will decrease, even if he probably puts up good seasons. At least that's my assumption, because it's EA and, production means nothing and age means everything for them. So that's how that works. Now, option number 2 is go through a rebuild. Trade guys like Nikolai Ehlers and Kyle Connor for big-time prospects and draft picks. Guys like Gabe Vilardi get traded, Niederreiter, maybe Josh Morrissey gets traded, like if you want to like blow it up, I mean. So that's like option 2. Do we blow it up, try to trade for prospects, picks, things like that? Or option 1, try to make the playoffs and get Winnipeg a Stanley Cup. They've been waiting for like a very long time, probably since the 80s. I know they had a team in like the WHA in the 80s or something like that. So they've been waiting for a very long time for a Stanley Cup and they've never gotten one. So as the general manager, it's our job, and as all you assistant general managers, it's our job to try to get this team a cup and try to work through the problems this team has, weak on the defensive core, strong in goaltending, although I'm not sure how much it's going to matter. Now I do want to just talk about the league a little bit because I had to make some changes to things going on. So first of all, if we go to contracts, I'll just talk about the big one that all you guys know. So when you start up a franchise mode and you come to a team like Colorado where they're like 20, 15, $10 million over the salary cap, something like that, you have to make changes to their salary, or else when you start the GM mode, Nathan MacKinnon will be making like $10 million for the next like 8 years, which is incredibly unfair. It gives the AI general managers a big break and allows them to just cruise by on lower salaries, which is totally unfair to the player. So what you have to do is make some changes. So for example, for Colorado, because Devon Toews is making $7.25 million for the next like 7 years, I think he signed that extension over the offseason, or maybe just before the season started, something like that. You have to make changes to their salary cap. So what I did was, and shout out to Data as well, because if you guys follow Data782, he put a whole video out on this, so I'll link that down below as well, and you guys can check that out. He'll explain it better than I will, but basically, you have to make sure that each team is salary cap compliant. So Mikko Rantanen had to drop from like $9 million to 6.5. Also, Bowen Byram dropped from like 3.75 for the next 2 years to 2.5, and then I think Ryan Johansson dropped his 0.775 for the next 2 years as well. And so what this does is that it means that all the salaries that are going on for the next few years have to stay in place. Nathan MacKinnon still has to make $12.6 million in 2030, 2031. Cale Makar still has to make $9 million in 2026, 27. And that means that the general managers for the AI do not get any massive breaks, and it's going to be harder to sign these guys longer term because of the real world contracts. So that's just some things that I had to do. Again, I will link Data's video down below. He will explain it far better than I can. Another thing that sucks is if we go to free agency here, big boy Patrick Kane is out here and only wants $3.875 million. Do I think it's fair to pick up someone like Patrick Kane for our GM mode? The answer is no. If you guys want to and it's overwhelming, obviously I will do what you guys want, but I don't think it's fair, as I don't know that there are any connections between Patrick Kane and Winnipeg. Patrick Kane wants to go to a contender, obviously, which I think that we probably are, but at the same time, does he want to come up and live in Winnipeg and have to deal with the taxes and the cold and things like that? I'd assume he wants to go more to, somebody along the lines of a Colorado, a Vegas, something like that, where they are more inclined, he's more inclined to go. Jonathan Toews, on the other hand, good old Canadian boy, great defender, kind of similar to an Adam Lowry. Do we need him? I'm not sure. Shane Pinto, if you guys know what just came out in the news, I want to make so many jokes about Shane Pinto, but I will refrain because it's a pretty serious issue, so we will not be making jokes about that. And I don't think we're going to give him an RFA offer, not based on what happened in the news, but just, I don't think that any team really wants to take him on right now. He's probably going to have to sign his qualifying offer. Josh Bailey. I thought that isn't Josh Bailey with the Sens? Whatever. I don't know, man. Other than that, other guys in here, Alex Edler, Phil Kessel, could be an option, a depth guy. Phil Kessel is always kind of a glitch. Maxime Comtois, who signed out in Europe, I believe. Paul Stastny and Joe Thornton are still here. They have not retired. I saw something on Instagram that Joe Thornton might be looking for one last ride kind of a thing. So maybe we can pick him up and help out, the younger guys like Cole Perfetti for some depth. There's Eric Stahl down here. A lot of guys that we can think about going after. There's Nolan Patrick, but low at top at 9 forward. Do we give Nolan Patrick a chance? Maybe in the AHL system, things like that. But at the end of the day, guys, I just want to hear your thoughts. I want to build the excitement for the series. I hope that intro, I tried to do my best, to make that intro kind of, you get to feel the pain of the Winnipeg Jets. I'm not sure how it came across, but I hope that you guys will enjoy the series and that you're excited to get this one started up. I don't really have anything else to say, so, well, and it's been a while when I forget to show you guys one of the most important parts to the franchise mode. As I'm editing this video, I realized that I didn't show you guys the trade block, so one of the most important parts of the franchise mode, I didn't show you guys. So we're going to go through the trade block real quick. We will sort by overall, so that you guys can see what's out there. I ask you guys for these impossible situations. I ask you guys to make these decisions based on no data. I say, yeah, guys, tell me who to go out and get. And of course, I don't show you who's available. So Mackenzie Weegar's available here in Calgary. Could potentially be a fix for our semi-weak blue line. Carolina has some prospects. Chicago with nothing. Colorado with nothing. Columbus, Damon Severson on that big contract that he signed. Logan Stankoven here in Dallas. David Perron, Jeff Petrie, Shane Gostis here, JT Compher, Andrew Kopp, Oli Mada, Justin Hall, a bunch of guys in Detroit, basically their entire team. Florida, again, I don't know if we're going to go out looking for any of these guys immediately, but it is definitely good to know who's out there for your guys' input for sure. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go make any trades. I'm probably not going to make any trades, before the start of the year. Maybe like 20, 30 games in, that's when we start to think about stuff like that. Shane Pinto on the block here in Ottawa, but nothing too soon. A lot of teams still with nothing on their blocks. Braden Shen, Justin Falk, Torrey Krug, some decent players out here in St. Louis, which is nice to see. Toronto prospects, Vancouver with some depth players, Vegas prospects, and Washington with nothing. So that's what the trade blocks look like. Without further ado, guys, that will be the end of episode 1. I'll have to do the scouting and take care of all that stuff on my own, but I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. You Winnipeg fans. I'm personally not a Winnipeg fan. I don't know what the Winnipeg fandom is thinking about the season, so you guys let me know. Do we want to be a contender? Do we want to be a seller, sell off guys like Nikolai Ehlers, Kyle Connor, Nino Niederreiter, guys like that? Or do we want to try to make the playoffs, give Hellebuck and Scheifele a cup, give the town of Winnipeg a cup, try to do that? So you guys let me know down in the comments, and I will be looking, and I'm super excited to get this series started. This is just a quick introduction. The next few videos will probably be 30 minutes, 40 minutes, hour-long videos, things like that. If you watch the Ottawa Senators GM mode, you know that I like to make them a bit longer. So I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, and I'm excited to be back in the NHL 24 franchise mode. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.